congratulations on getting to season 2. You know, that's always a great thing. Creating a story and characters, and you slowly start to fall in love with them to not be able to move forward. But now you do, and you know, season 1 ended in an explosive, flashy way, of course.
Oh, yeah.
So what is it? Where do we pick up after we start this new season? Is there a time jump, or is it like split second, or how does it work out?
It is a time jump. We find our characters a little bit into the future with the aftermath of COVID and what happened with the flicking of the beer with the police officer, and we find our characters having grown and having a new platform.
Right.
And with that platform comes a level of responsibility that maybe they're not ready for, or maybe some of the characters aren't prepared for. They're not used to. They're finding their place, their way in life. And I know for my character in particular, maybe not ready for all that attention, or thought they were.
Right.
But realize there's a lot more than just talking about that time you got beat up by the police.
Right.
You gotta expand a little bit on your issues.
Right. Well, yeah, of course, you work to fight labels, and then you get the label of activist after that too.
Exactly.
So, as you come into this, how what was your first idea, and how you all wanted to attack the idea of activist as well as the idea of marketing activism or marketing wokeness? All these things that are out there, and whether it's corporate or whether it's different labels along the lines too.
I'd like to say that the show is a mirror of society. The writers have a million things to pull from. You know what I mean? Because we're living in it. We're living in unparalleled times right now, where it seems like the entire world gets mobilized and activated on a topic because the information is now readily accessible because of social media.
Right.
So it used to be a time where if I felt something, if I was pissed off about something, in my tiny little town, nobody would give a shit because they wouldn't know. You know what I mean? Now you post a tweet about it, and somebody over a million miles away from you, they're like, hell yeah, that's going on over here too. Right? Here's some resources. Let's talk about it. Let's powwow. So the writers have one, a responsibility to do it justice of what's happening in the real world.
Right.
But they have the information that's right there.
Right.
Also, I think you've seen the evolution of the word woke in real time.
Mm-hmm.
When it first hit the scene, it meant a pretty basic thing of just kind of being aware. But now there's so much stuff comes with hearing the word woke. People have knee-jerk reactions to it. So it's really a fresh and interesting place to play and have a show based on.
And of course, the show's not an island on its own, so let's talk about Gunther and Clovis too. So where do we find them in the circle? These circle of things too, which, by the way, the circle of 3 guys, Workaholics, 3 guys too, New Girl, and 3 guys too. So what is
private life?
Yeah, private life. So what's the magic of the 3 guys, you think, when it comes to shows like this?
Well, it all starts with the 3 Stooges.
Probably.
Yeah, actually, it's kind of a joke. I think it is. It's just kind of that just seems to be sort of the magic number of getting perspectives. We all play such different personality types, yet I feel like everybody's sort of represented in our show. But even in season 2, Ayanna Sashir's character is in the group, so she adds a whole nother perspective to the friend group,
right.
And it really feels fresh and cool for the second season.
So when it comes to Gunther and now being part of this sweep up too, as things start to kind of grow, how do we find Gunther?
Gunther's pretty excited out the gate. He kind of sees a revolution on the horizon. He's very excited by the idea of change.
So he doesn't think he's going to get shot every other day still?
Well, you gotta realize he's kind of seeing his opportunity now, and he may have a little bit of a curtain of white privilege. He's into the chaos of it all. Maybe gets to throw a few bricks through a few windows, but I think he starts to see his friend Keith sort of struggle with this new idea of having this platform, and it kind of spirals Gunther out, and he sort of goes on a search for what his purpose is as well.
All right. How about Clovis?
Clovis is, man, he's in shape now, so he's out here trying to show off these abs, man. put these abdominals on display.
And these titties.
Get these titties. Because it's been a long at that time, what, year plus of what we thought was going to be 2 weeks. So Clovis had to find something to do with his time. He wasn't able to go outside and really, pretend to be anybody else. So, he had to get comfortable in his own skin. So I think him getting in shape was that.
Very cool. And the one thing too is we were all characters. We had, of course, tell Keith's story and kind of get to where we are now.
Yeah.
Do we get to go into Gunther, Clovis, and everyone else's lives a little bit more this season?
We do. So we find some long lost family members of Clovis's. Clovis gets an opportunity to start to have some meaningful relationships. We'll see if they can sustain. Because Clovis is a very toxic individual, and he doesn't know how to love, and that can go back to family relationships. So he's trying to figure it all out. But I think he's got some good guys in his corner with Keith and Gunther. And of course, Ayanna, to help him try to figure some things out.
Right. I'm also very excited because we're adding Amy Garcia and Billy Magnuson to the season 2.
Yeah.
So we get do they expand out into, I guess, the sphere of how they interact, I guess, with Keith and his world in that regard? I guess?
Oh yeah. I mean, they play very pivotal roles in this season. Amy comes in and she is. I don't want to say the antagonist, but that's kind of what her character is. But the way she plays it makes you, the audience member, question where your alliances would be if you're in this situation. So is she really the antagonist, or is she a part of that reflection that is our society?
So she's fierce because she was overly nice in Lucifer. So she's fierce in this one. Yeah.
Oh my God! And she's such a dope actor that you don't see it coming. And when you're performing opposite her, sitting down doing a scene, you're like, your mind's blown, because she's super intense. Yeah, she's such a dope actor that you find yourself watching and paying attention to what she's doing as opposed to staying in the scene. And sometimes you gotta check yourself out because even me, I'm always learning as an actor, and I'm always trying to get better. I watch people's performances constantly, and I see some of the things that they're doing. And every once in a while, it happens on this set all the time, where I'm looking at what my scene partners are doing because I'm trying to figure out maybe I can use that. Oh, that's a good way to do that. Oh, that's I'm stealing.
Right.
I'm okay with stealing shit.
Basically, Amy beat people on set.
But you can take it now. Clovis has the muscles to take those hits now, I think. Too. And then of course
show muscles, man.
The show muscles. And of course Billy Magnuson, the man who's played I think 3 Disney princes already, I believe. So if you want to take that back to him, you can. Yeah.
Oh yes.
So what do we find him in this?
So he's a part of. So what happens in our show, and the question that we're asking is, what happens when that? What happens when the microscope is on you? There are always folks in your corner that are promoting the wrong things. You should be doing this. You should be doing that. This is the way to go. This is how you should do it. This is what we're gonna do. He represents that person. He plays an overzealous manager, publicist type of guy who doesn't have good intentions necessarily. He has good intentions, but he's. I don't want to give away too much, but maybe he's on the. Maybe he's doing other things on the side that causes his energy to be a little too high. He's this guy zonked out of his mind at all times. So
he's hilarious, man. We had him on set. He was a shotgun blast.
All the time.
Billy is one of my best friends, and he's like that in real life. The guy is nothing but energy at all times. So when you get a chance to I was excited for everyone else to see what I've been dealing with. I was I'm telling you, this guy is insane. And he was. And I think fans will really love seeing him on the show. We had done a movie together prior. We had done Game Night together. So it was just fun to work with him again.
Right. I'm also excited too as we get into this more. I think the writers are going to have more fun connecting the dots to seeing things that you guys will probably run into as well. All the different, whether it's media or people who have things they're trying to sell you or get you to be something or different stuff too. I mean, have you guys ever had any moments like that where what if this? You're like, that's not me, man. I'm not gonna it's a nice face cream in Japan, but I don't think I need to fly over there to do a commercial. I'm sorry. I mean, you guys ever run into anything like that, or a PR person or someone trying to sell you or get you along?
I mean, Gillette keeps trying to get him to show. I'm like, bro, cash. cash out.
I
I got the wig ever since I shaved my head.
I get stuff all the time, man. I mean, especially from like these online like clothing like companies or something like that are like just trying to get you to wear stuff that you would never wear.
Right.
It's like, hey, what do you charge just for like ads? And it's like, I would have to believe in these clothes, and you don't even want to wear these clothes, and you own but people are always trying to get me to wear their clothes. That's weird to me. Like they're literally like always.
You cute, man.
You got the body.
I had somebody ask me to be like a waist trainer model, and I was like, I am a boy. Like, what are we like? She was looking like, your waist is snatched, honey. Like, I'm not out here trying to get other people snatched. What are we doing, man?
Well, that's awesome. So what was it like to come out? Of course, you start this in a COVID world. What's it like to come out and see fans in real life?
Crazy.
I mean, you've been to Comic Cons before. I mean,
Yeah.
you've been to events like this and see fans too. So what's it like to see them after you create it in a bubble almost, you know?
Yeah, didn't even really realize how little fan interaction we'd had until today. Like, everything about this show, pretty much after we wrapped first season, has been in some way affected by the quarantine and COVID. So, just being here and seeing people in real life has been very cool.
Oh yeah.
Well, I will say we shot this in Atlanta, so it never shut down there. Georgia was wide open. They were like, COVID, what's that?
It was fun for me. I was used to just like like everybody else.
Right.
When the show comes out, part of the fun of it is the fanfare and get to see how people react to it. And, going to conventions or going to screenings and things like that. That's part of the allure of television, is
Right.
that you get to interact with fans about something you did.
Right.
We didn't have that, and so when you finally get out of that, when you finally break out, it's very rewarding. Trust me, it's like even just sitting here, just having a very casual conversation, coloring.
Right.
If this were last year, we'd be doing this over Zoom,
Right.
and I would have been sent a package of pictures or told to print these out.
What to do already, right?
Yeah, and I'd have been like, this is weird, but doing it like this is like, I am very, very grateful to be just
For sure.
alive, and to be here to say we can do healthy enough to do this.
So last question, of course, we are here at WonderCon. So if Woke had its own toy line, what would that toy look like? What would the accessory be on your toy, if your character? What do you think you'd find?
My toy would be chopped up. He would look like an action figure. Remember like those old WrestleMania? Like remember those old wrestling like cartoons? Speaking of WrestleMania, it's tonight. But remember like those old wrestling like characters or like action figures? Like that's how Clovis would just be jacked.
I mean, you're okay.
But on the action figure, you got to make it so much better. Like Stone Cold Steve Austin was never really that shredded. But when those action figures came out, Stone Cold, like those action figures, dude, were massive. So I think that's what Clovis would look like.
How about Keith?
You saying if there was like a
Like if it was a toy or action, what kind? I mean, was there even a style? Would it be a Funko Pop? I mean, or would it be like an action figure, or would it be? What do you think it would be?
man, it was weird. Mine would probably be a marker. I don't know. I'd want, if I had to design it, it would be a marker with my face on it. I don't know. It would be something like that. Because he's always got his marker that kind of operates as his second brain, and I think that would be
Free JB Smooth with every figure.
Yeah, exactly. You press the button, and
It would never
like
stop
this.
talking.
Let me tell you something. Talk about the time that I had a pocket full of loose grapes and saltine crackers, and every 2 minutes I pop them in my mouth, and I just enjoy that saltine cracker. Oh my God,
So good.
It's like, yo, JB, what the fuck are you talking about?
When he starts, he doesn't stop.
But that's what we love. That's what we love.
He's the greatest.
100%. You go through for the last one.
I would like to think that Gunther would be some sort of transformer that you could kind of turn into a usable pipe of sorts. That would be really cool.
Raw.
Fantastic. Well, I want to thank you for coming down, coloring with us. If you can show the cameras what you did, explain why, or where you were going with this. I know we don't have much time, but we just give done what we can. So.
Well, Lamore's is trash, but I'll show mine. Mine is
really good.
just me looking and fly. Look at that.
Yeah,
Look at the skin tone. It's pretty on too. Your dude is ashy as shit, man. What's going on with that?
Look at that. So this is
Ashy.
That is me. I think mine is probably one of the greatest pieces of art you've ever seen.
Really good.
And I got an homage to my new clothing line called Prank Sinatra. So
Garbage.
Prank Sinatra. Yeah. So we combining the best of both worlds.
What you got on your plate?
I went death metal. Death metal.
Can I have that?
Oh my
I'm gonna pray.
Well, I think now we need to start doing table reads and coloring, right?
Yes.
That's the way it's going to go from now on.
That
Y'all
with
get
death
into
metal with it.
This is an NFT waiting to be sold.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Well, I want to thank you so much for coming down. Season 2, it looks amazing, and more importantly, it looks like you all have fun making
With
this
death
film.
metal. When did you do this?
I just,
I looked over multiple times. I saw none of that. In the last 15 seconds, he's like, da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. Jesus Christ.
and poor anatomy.
Cable, it was inside. It needs to come out. So
man.
I want to thank you all so much. Like I said, season 2 looks amazing. You got a chance to see the fans, and more to come for sure. And more importantly, like I said, it looks like there's already a family dynamic going on here, and it looks like you're all having fun.
Don't
So.
fucking touch me.
Don't be like that.
We talk about the show.
We're at the pandemic.
I got carried away.
Oh God, sorry.
All right.
Sorry.
Well, thank you very much, and we'll see you hopefully again soon and get a chance to color with you for season 3.